Oh, I should probably put that.
You want cans, or you doing this one canless? Well, it looks like another episode of just me solo by myself.
Okay, I can cut you up completely. I have no issue with that.
Yeah. Fuck, man. We're really letting people down because I think that we made a claim that we were going to have a guest this podcast. And because you are a poor planner.
Oh my god.
A poor planner.
Oh my god. No, I'm not actually.
We lost our white whale. And he's probably never going to be on now.
No, he's going to be on next week Sunday.
Sure.
And 1, 3, 6.
4, 5. But now I got to go to a Bucks game with my 3rd grade aunt.
So, when we put it out there that we probably have a guest, we already knew that it was probably not going to happen for some unknown reasoning.
Oh, I knew it wasn't going to be because of me. I would never let that guy down.
It's because, like, all of a sudden, Friday hits, and my girlfriend goes, so we're going to a Brewers game with my parents this weekend on Sunday. And I was like, no, because I have this thing. And then she's like, well, can't you, like, and it's like, well, what am I supposed to do? Can't you do, like, and it's like, no. I just have to cancel and move it to next week.
Okay. Yeah, it's fine. We were just talking about Penguin Zero.
Yeah.
And really funny that Penguin O.
Yeah. Well, the way he said it as well was like Penguin O.
Penguin, really?
Not like Penguin O, but like Penguin O.
It is weird.
Like no enunciation on the last part. So it was hard for me to like know who he was talking about.
He's a very funny person because very widely successful.
Sure.
On multiple platforms.
Yeah.
Different name on all platforms.
Yeah, Moist Critical,
Charlie,
Penguin Zero.
Penguin Zero, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's really somebody who's beat branding, right?
Yeah.
You never, like...
Well,
that's, like, something they would definitely tell you not to do is to have just consistent branding across the board.
Yes. It was, like, a thing that me and you were, like, worried about, too, when we're starting this or whatever.
But this guy does not...
That guy doesn't give a fuck. And it's the reason why I lost him. Because I was telling you that I lost him, which was... I saw like funny videos by him, like the Quap video, the Halo 3 video. Mm-hmm. Like he was releasing these like really hysterical gameplay videos, like long time ago. Mm-hmm. Lost him for years because I just couldn't remember. Because obviously his name is one thing, but he doesn't. He never starts his videos by hey, it's Penguin Zero with another. He goes, hey guys, Critical here.
Yeah.
And I would look up Critical, just wouldn't be able to find him because it's also not spelt the normal way.
Yeah.
It's spelt with a K. So there was a long period of time where I just lost that guy. Mm-hmm. Randomly, I got suggested a video. Very weird. Was into all the same things that I was into at the same time. Like, I was outside of him doing like Pokemon cards all the time. Mm-hmm. Like I was ripping packs open to that shit. And Among Us, like he got into that crew right away too. And like
I feel like you got back into him way earlier than that.
Huh? No.
What? That's really recent. That's really recent.
Yes.
Then. That's really bizarre. I feel like I kind of never got off. That guy is really good at morphing with the times. Like,
yes.
Because like back then, commentating videos on video games like that was like a really popular, and like it was just like content that got pushed to everybody back then.
Yeah.
Like videos like that. He also used to do parodies of like ShamWow guy.
Yeah.
What are those
Those
called?
were so good.
What are those?
The infomercials.
Yeah.
Those were so good
those
too.
all the time.
Yeah.
And like honestly, a lot of people did parodies of those.
Yeah, and that was like I forgot about that.
It's
so funny because he has this one line in one of them where he goes, yeah, normally he was doing it for the ShamWow and he like spills something. He goes, oh, normally you have to replace the whole house. You got to cut up the carpet, replace the whole house, sell it, whatever. He goes, but with ShamWow, it'll rock your socks off. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
And just the way that guy's vocabulary is insane.
Yeah, it's it's deep.
And the weird part is I think that he's like the same age as us.
No, he's a little bit older.
Not that much older though.
Yeah, like 5 years though.
I don't think it's that much.
Yeah, I think he's like he's either 30 or 29.
No, there's no way.
Yeah, I bet he is. But Yeah, why I like him is that he's just been able to morph throughout the times. He didn't do face cam for a while, but like now he's constantly known
26.
26?
Same age as us.
Oh, so he's like just a year older?
Yes.
Oh, man.
So we were watching these videos. We're like freshmen.
I'm assuming that he's way older than me because of his voice.
Because it's not just his voice, it's his like he would say like words that I just like didn't even.
I thought he was way older than me.
No.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah. Very like.
Oh, I guess we could probably be buds then.
Yeah.
If we were to hang out with him.
Yeah, we'd be buddies.
You ever
also,
think about that? Like somebody in the limelight, in like the spotlight, would you be friends with them? The most recent person that I can think of that I listened to, whole interview of them, and I'm like, definitely not. Demi Lovato.
Demi Lovato.
Fucking dork.
Well, because I don't shoot up any H.
It doesn't matter about shooting up H. Just like...
She's just a dork.
Yeah, it's just... She like really found Joe Rogan like hilarious, and I'm like, I don't know about that. And like... Yeah. The way she was talking to him the whole time.
To be fair, name any woman celebrity.
No, I feel like a Miley Cyrus I could hang out with.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'd be
Miley Cyrus. I could probably kick it with. Who's another?
Margot Robbie. She likes slamming brewskis.
I could probably hang out with Selena Gomez.
Yeah, I mean, I could hang out with like Margot Robbie, Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah. No, Jennifer Aniston I couldn't hang out with.
No?
No, she's my mother's age. I'm not gonna kick it with her.
I want to fuck a mom so bad.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Let's
But kind of backtrack to Royce Critical a bit.
Yeah.
Is it ever funny that when these people don't show their face, what is the first thing everybody
They're
says?
ugly.
No. They are
fat?
Black.
Oh yeah, everybody
thinks
who
that
doesn't show their face, they just assume they're black.
Yes,
Yeah.
like Donkey
Or Puerto
was that
Rican.
way for a long time.
Yeah.
Like some people to this day
Well, it's
still
because of
think
their
that,
voice. It's
Yeah.
not. It doesn't have to do with like.
for sure. But Critical was the same
If
way.
we didn't show our faces, I don't think anybody would be like, those guys are definitely black.
They say that about me often.
No, they do not.
Yeah, the people that only listen to the monologue on audio, that's all the comments there.
Yeah, there's no like audio only.
Yeah, there is.
No, there isn't.
Well, we're getting re-uploaded.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Yeah.
Imagine if we got re-uploaded and like they were just like making bank off of us.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
I'd be pretty excited.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'd let somebody stolen valor me.
Yeah. Fuck it. Right.
I love stolen valor.
I know. So do I.
So much.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Oh, man.
I don't get the appeal of it. Like, one thing is, what's funny is the idea to go out in the world and pretend like you served.
Yeah.
Which is like, that's funny, right? Like, if you really care that much, just serve. You can honestly, if you're like that scared to serve, you can like do things in that. Once you get through boot camp, you can like find jobs that are like
chef,
right? And you still get treated like you're
still get free haircuts.
Right. You still get the discounts.
It is actually easy to get like unqualified.
Yeah.
Like I was qualified for so many years, not qualified anymore.
You can't qualify anymore.
Antidepressants.
Oh.
If you've taken antidepressants at any point, you're like donezo.
At any point. Well,
and
I guess
to find out, so I didn't realize that depression was like a real thing until after high school. You know, lots of high schoolers are on antidepressants.
That's like a recent thing, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's like in the
I think it's because of Twitter.
You think Twitter solo has just made all these kids?
Yeah. Well, ever since that one monkey got put out there, that orange one.
So everybody has to go on antidepressants.
Yeah, they go, I'm never going to be as dope as that fucking monkey.
My second thing I was thinking about with the stolen valor stuff.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna do that, right? Just serve. It's easy.
Yes.
It's easy to like do. But if you, let's say you can't because you get turned away for the antidepressant thing.
Yeah.
Why don't like you've seen those like Daniel Tosh stuff, right? Where like you got the people, which is the second funny part.
Yeah.
People to call them out.
Yes.
Who gets that angry over? Like, I would never get angry at a stolen valor.
Yeah, it is very odd.
But like, they'll call these people out, right? And they'll go, "Where did you serve? Like, what platoon? I don't even know.
Why is your badge in the wrong spot?
Right.
Don't your patch isn't right there."
And then they'll like say like, "What did you do?" And they're like, "Sniper." Like they just say like stupid or like, "What's your rank?" And they'll say like sniper, which is like, if you're gonna do Stolen Valor,
do a little bit of research.
Do a little bit of research.
Just a wee bit.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
And why do you think? What do you think is the point of the military parking spot? You think there's a real reason for it?
No.
Like at an Applebee's?
There's no reason for the military parking spot at an Applebee's.
No.
I'd be more willing to, like, I don't know, let a pregnant woman have a better parking spot.
Are you
like pregnant parking? I'd rather have that than a military parking.
That's. I don't know why I thought that was going to be like a funny joke.
You know what?
Use it for my first stand up.
The thing is, right? If you're going to have military parking, there's so many people in the military.
Yeah,
we pay lots of people. Make requirements on it. When you pull up to the parking spot, have one person there
to show your rank and everything.
No, that asks you how many confirmed kills.
That's what I would like.
like if you say, "Hey, I have 10 confirmed kills," there you go. You can front of the line, buddy.
You can park there. Yeah,
front of the line.
Right.
You know what? You don't even have to come in. We'll serve you out here. You've murdered for our country.
Then it works.
Yeah.
But if you're just like the cook, if you're just like the guy like shining people's shoes, why does he get to do it?
There's no reason.
There isn't any reason.
Yes, I think that there should be a minimum amount of confirmed kills, and I think that it should be that way for like, because the only thing that actually requires like a few amount of confirmed kills is to buy the red, white, and blue bang. But outside of that, they don't require confirmed kills for enough stuff.
Do you think there was any way to make that stand-up joke work?
No.
Back then when I first tried it?
No. The
idea like compare, just like I was just so angry that of the military parking.
Yes.
And then like I don't know why I started off by saying, does anybody hate veterans out here? And then like, what is like the thought of the response? Everybody would be like, hell yeah.
Everybody starts cheering. Yeah. To be fair, right after Kaepernick did his thing, might have got a little bit better of a response.
Oh yeah, I guess maybe.
Like, you could have gone to like fucking San Fran and told that joke, and anybody hates some veterans, everybody gets on a knee and goes, hell yeah, brother.
Yeah. So maybe. Yeah, I mean, it's also such like, what I was trying to do is so lame. It's just like, I essentially just wanted to say, like how can there be an expecting mothers like parking spot? Like, how do we know that like they're pregnant and not just like a fat bitch or something? Yeah, that's like what I wanted to say. That was my like killing joke. Yeah, but instead I just, anybody else hate veterans?
It went well.
No, I know. I just like I got terrified and.
Yeah, I mean,
you should give it a try too.
Your response for like then proceeding to shoot up that bar was the weird part. Was nobody's backing me.
Well, nobody was leaving and remembering that.
Yeah,
I was the only one who could come away with the memories.
Yes, for sure. I mean, nobody can downplay the kid never misses. All right, the kid don't miss.
This past weekend we really didn't do anything, but I heard it got wild, and is that true?
Where
for you guys?
Kinda.
Is there anything interesting worth telling me or no?
Here's the thing: if it's the after party on Saturday night, I passed out.
Oh, you weren't part of it?
I went home. We got back there. Me and Mike fell asleep on the couch.
Oh, okay.
I was fucked up.
Yeah.
It was funny though. There is one thing that I do want to tell. T-Rock had like a really good joke.
Okay.
He was talking about Beth and how every year around 9/11, she gets very excited.
Okay.
Because she loves documentaries.
What?
So 9/11 to her is Shark Week.
What?
Yeah. That girl, every single year, everybody's remembering, everybody's sad, everybody takes a moment of silence. Not Beth. She turns up her TV a little bit louder.
Shark Week going.
She's got fucking 9/11 week going. Yeah. She loves the documentaries, and she thinks it's just like the coolest. She's like, that's just so crazy. We were alive for that.
Yeah.
And she thinks that it's like the craziest documentaries of all time.
Did you ever see that TikTok? There's these kids who they do a much worse podcast than us, but are way more popular.
Yeah.
It's the podcast, but outside.
Oh, The Fighter and the Kid.
No.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I don't know anything about it except that like it's a podcast but outside.
Yes.
And it's extremely popular. It's got a hook, unlike us.
Yeah. It's got a niche.
And it's got talent, and it's got
yes. Hot dudes.
Hot dudes.
Yeah.
So anyways,
both of them really hung.
One of the guys came up to them and he was talking about like this guy loves national tragedies.
Yeah.
Because like airfare just goes down extremely for those like places.
Yeah.
So after a natural tragedy, this guy just like
travels it up.
Hits the road and like goes to wherever.
Like right after the Vegas shooting, he was the next person to go to Vegas.
Which is like great idea.
Yeah.
My family does it unintentionally.
Yeah.
Which is also like a weird thing.
Yeah, you guys had the best Disney World trip of all time.
Yeah, like the 9/11 thing, it happened on a Tuesday. We were at Disney World that Saturday.
Yeah.
And like nobody was there.
Yeah.
No, everybody was like scared to fly.
There was no waits for you.
I mean, it was the greatest trip I've ever
you've ever been on.
And the thing is, that guy was saying like, whenever national tragedy strikes, so like airfare goes down, and like nobody's going to those places.
Yeah,
it's kind of bullshit because then like, because when 9/11 happened, legit everybody was scared. Mm-hmm. This is how like desensitized America was. I was in Florida during the Paul shooting. Yeah. Everybody was kept rocking. We just like, there was no like.
Yeah. But that's different.
Why?
Because America's homophobic.
Oh, right. So they were actually, they were rocking with it?
Yeah. They were like, well, somebody had to do it. Somebody's got to spank their bare butt and back.
What was that singer that died that same week? Christina
Grimley.
Yeah.
I forget about that so much.
I don't know who she is at all still.
I loved her.
Yeah, I know you did. I'm sure you did. Like that day I went on the flight, we would find out that she like died in Florida because she got shot.
Yeah,
and then the Paul shooting happened in Orlando, Florida as well. Yes. And then when we're leaving Disney World to go to Universal, a kid gets eaten by an alligator. It all happened in the same week. Yeah, all in Florida.
Nuts week. Florida's always popping off though.
Well, right.
It's always doing crazy.
So I guess like, what is the real?
What's a god to a non-believer?
No, what is the real? Is it just like you go to Florida? A pretty good chance that a national tragedy might happen there. Or whenever my family goes.
It's just when your family goes. What if you are the catalyst to Florida?
Maybe.
Like, you have to test it out. Go to Florida, like, one more time. Because at some point,
the whole family.
Because, like, then I'll genuinely believe that you are the Antichrist of Florida.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, the Christina Grimley girl, I forget, like, about that because, like, she was another person like Moist Critical that I found early on YouTube. And because I used to watch a lot of cover videos. Yeah. And she was like a big YouTube star.
Yeah. I find it weird that like typically I'm the one who knows the YouTube stars and you don't. But I don't know this one at all.
I know a lot of YouTube stars that you don't know.
I know nowadays, but like back in that era.
Even that era, you didn't know about somebody that I knew about. Well, you knew of him like later on, but
you're talking about
Thien. We were just watching a documentary.
Yeah, but I know him now. Yeah, you know.
But at that time, you didn't even believe that he was like the number 3 most subscribed to YouTube channel. Sure, which is crazy. That Christina Grimley though, she also, because I knew of her, she fell off for a bit. Like I didn't hear of her. I just stopped watching cover videos. And then she was like on The Voice. And I was like, what the heck? I know this girl. And then, then that should happen. That's
Wait, she was in The Voice? Uh-huh. Isn't it? So, yeah, like, that's a girl that's like, you just kind of forget about.
She came up from YouTube.
This is something that I keep fucking forgetting about. Dude, like, I know it's been a while. No, I know it's... What the fuck happened yesterday?
I can't remember a thing.
What the fuck? I slept through that.
The Pentagon too? What? That's weird.
Why don't we just make that TikTok and like the caption is like my impression of somebody who slept through 9/11 on
2001.
Yeah, September 11th, 2001.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened? God.
Can somebody tell, or just like a guy that got like blackout drunk early in the morning and is drunk the whole day? He goes, can anybody tell me what happened yesterday? I have no idea. And he's just talking about him blacking out and like him doing crazy wonky stuff. And they're like, dude, it was a national tragedy.
But I keep forgetting that like fucking Kobe Bryant's dead.
Yeah.
Isn't that like every now and then it just like I go, oh right.
Yes.
It's still so fucking crazy that I mean,
sad.
Of the early 2000s, if not the greatest basketball player, like one of.
Yeah.
People don't put him on the all-time greats though. Like if you do a top 10, he might be like 10 or 9.
He's probably in my top 10. Maybe even top 5.
But Michael Jordan doesn't make it for you, right?
No.
Of course.
That guy sucks.
Yeah.
That guy's trash. Never played against a good player ever. Yeah, Kobe's up there. I mean, but the thing is...
Who do you put on? Who do you put in your list?
Number 1's LeBron James.
Okay.
Number 2 is MJ.
Okay.
Number 3, Magic. 4... maybe Shaq. Maybe Shaquille O'Neal. 5, Kareem.
Okay.
6, Kobe.
So he's not on the top 5 for you?
I think that he falls just out of it.
Okay.
Then it gets a little bit iffy because I think that these next couple of years are going to play out to where like KD is going to be on that list. Steph's going to be on that list.
Steph and KD will make your list?
Eventually, I think, yeah.
One person that a lot of people have in their top, but kind of gets overlooked, is Tim Duncan. A lot of people have Tim Duncan on their list. Top 10. Or Larry Bird. Kind of skipped over, but that's fine.
Larry Bird, I mean, I don't respect.
I know you don't like Larry Bird.
But
that guy's pretty good. He's like on, like I think the 1986 Celtics is like considered one of the greatest teams of all time, you know, and Larry Bird was like the helm of that.
Yeah, there was nobody else in the league at the time.
So, no, Magic Johnson was still there. Really, Larry versus Magic. Kareem was still in the league, you know.
Kareem was on his downswing.
Just saying, like, you know, there's still people.
Larry Bird fucking sucks.
Why do you not like Larry?
The guy runs like a fucking, like, you run faster than that guy in his prime.
You think I could beat Larry Bird in a fight?
Yes. He's got a big fucking beak on him.
And then, so, Larry, Magic, LeBron, MJ, Kareem, Tim Duncan. Did I say MJ?
Mm-hmm.
There's, like, people consider, like, 2 more that I like.
Shaquille.
No, I think a lot of people keep Shaquille off because of, like, the laziness, you know?
Really?
Yeah.
I've heard Shaquille on a lot of people's tops. There's probably for sure people that I'm missing when I'm like thinking, who's the other tall guy?
The other tall guy? Wilt?
It's Wilt Chamberlain.
Wilt Chamberlain's another one.
He's probably one that's on there.
Wilt is always on.
Wilt's probably my top 10.
Yeah, Wilt's the guy who, like, he scored 100 points in it.
Yeah.
And some people say that's actually
in
like,
multiple games.
Not multiple.
I think it was more than one game.
Well, people say the Wilt stuff, like, that might have actually been faked, the 100-point stuff.
Yeah.
But how can you tell? It's just people like, fuck it. Well, I guess Wilt scored 100 today. Nobody's at the game.
That is funny. Because I'd definitely do something like that.
What, just fib?
Oh, yeah.
Who cares, right?
Yeah. I tell people all the time how many touchdowns. I was like, yeah, I played defensive lineman. I had 5 touchdowns in my senior year.
Oh, fuck it.
Yeah. Okay. How are they going to check? What are they going to do? They're going to pull up my fucking high school stats?
They're going to pull up my huddle?
Yeah. You going to pull up my huddle? I'll show you my huddle.
Huddle is the most... Anybody who, like, advertises their huddle...
That show was so cool.
I immediately... For anybody who does not know what huddle is, it is this high school, like... you just upload your high school, like, football highlights to it. And I think college coaches might use it for, like, scouting, but essentially it's just for like high school kids to like, get their dicks wet.
Yeah. I mean, like, it was used by us and the coaches to like review like how we played and stuff.
Yeah, but you know what people really used it for.
But then there was like the people that I don't respect are like, check out my Twitter bio, and in their Twitter bio they had like
a huddle,
a self-made like highlight clip of them.
Yeah.
Where they like, hey buddy, you're not that good if you have to circle yourself.
Yeah.
If you're making a highlight thing and you got to circle yourself, like,
and then it's them blocking a guy for 2 yards.
Yeah, like, I mean, to be fair, like, it would be something that I'd have to do quite a bit because I played lineman and was like 5'0".
You had a huddle, right?
Well, I had like a huddle. Just I didn't make like any highlights or anything.
But yeah, I just really
I used it. I watched film like quite a bit.
Yeah,
but it was like I'd watch like other teams.
Yeah, I didn't need to.
Yeah,
I had it all dialed in.
Yeah, you were dialed in.
Speaking of like sports and basketball, playoffs start tomorrow. I don't think you're aware of this. Maybe you are. You kind of been like checked out of the basketball season.
Yeah,
but there's playing games this year.
Oh,
so
are we in? Or do we have to play to get it?
No, it's for the bottom 7 through 10.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly how it works, but essentially they are sudden death games. And once it's all said and done, it's still like 1 through 8 on both sides.
Yeah.
But it's like sudden death for the last 2 spots.
Okay.
So, the idea is it'll help deter tanking, because a lot of times when the season gets towards like the middle towards the end, like teams that are like in the 11 or 10 spot are like, fuck it, let's just like give up. But now it's like, well,
we still have a chance.
We still have a chance. So like, that's the idea. I don't know if it's actually gonna like do that, because
to go through play-ins and then also win playoffs, it's probably fairly difficult.
A lot of people are also annoyed because teams that like would just be in play-in or playoffs, like normally like the 8 and 7 seed, now have to play these play-in games to like hold their spot. I'm actually all for it, because like more sudden death games is just like fun. I just like competition. Yeah. And here's the best part of it. There is a high level game that's going to be right in the beginning. So Golden State is the 8th seed in the West.
Really?
And Steph Curry is going on a tear, not because that team's good, but because he kind of has to. Like,
yes.
There's no offense on that team besides him.
That guy has been dropping 40 a night. Like,
yeah, so he's
consistently.
He won the scoring title, and he averaged 32 points this year. Mm-hmm. He's not going to win MVP, but he's going to like.
He's probably going to.
He definitely is not.
Oh,
Jokic is winning.
There's no way.
1,000% he is.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been hearing from like a lot of people that it's Steph.
It's not. It's Jokic.
And Kyrie had a 50, 40, 90 year?
Yep. But yeah, the people that were like the most likely to win were going to be like Joel Embiid or Jokic. But yeah, Jokic is having a crazy year. They're not giving the MVP to players that are like essentially like it. MVP is like a weird one, because it should be the most valuable player on like any team, right?
Yes.
So Steph could easily win that based on that, but it's not really. It's usually
what is Joker doing this year that's so crazy?
He's just the best player on like one of the best teams.
What rank is their team?
I think they're 2nd in the West.
Okay.
Pretty good. No, actually they're 1st.
Are they?
No, it's Utah. Fuck, I don't know. 3rd, maybe.
All right.
But he's just like, I guess he's playing out of this world, you know. That's most people's
So, I mean, I do kind of respect that, because that's why Giannis has won. Mm-hmm. Is that 2 years in a row he was the best player on the best team.
Yeah.
And like, I kind of respect it. I mean, but there is an extent to it. Like, also in the last, like, the 2 years that Giannis won, there wasn't really like, even if there was a playoff team, like there was James Harden who was kind of close.
Yeah.
But like, if you took that player off the team, their team was still pretty decent.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like he was hard carrying.
So like with the Steph Curry this year, if they took him off the team, that team would be like
the worst.
A lottery team like crazy.
You take Giannis off the Bucks, they are a lottery team probably.
Let me tell you. So I've been building this up a little bit. Who is Golden State going to have to play their one play-in game in for a sudden death? They got to play
the Lakers.
They got to play the Lakers.
Really?
Yeah, that's Wednesday, 9:00.
What are the Lakers?
7 seed.
Really?
So.
Oh yeah, I see this. So 7-8.
If they, okay. So I believe if whoever wins that game is
they're
just
a 5th seed.
Who?
Joker's not going to win.
Yes, he is.
They're a 5th seed.
I'm telling you that. Like, do you know another reason why is because a lot of the people that were like front runners just got injured. So then like in this crazy COVID season, Joker has played the most games out of all the stars. He's on like a playoff team, and he's like putting up like great stats. And after who's his teammate? Donovan Mitchell, right?
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell got hurt.
No, he's not.
Or who is it? Who's on the Nuggets with him? It's
not the Nuggets.
It
is the Nuggets.
Joker.
Oh, I keep on thinking that Joker's on. Who's the guy on the Mavericks?
The Mavericks? Luka Doncic.
I always get those two mixed up.
Yeah,
but that's because they're both
European.
They're useless players.
They're both pretty good.
Dog shit.
So, then Donovan Mitchell went down, right?
Okay.
So the idea is oh no, now the Nuggets are gonna start being bad, and Jokic has just played even better than before. So he's gonna win the votes this year, and it's pretty
he's not even top 5 points per game.
I'm telling you, he's gonna win it this year.
Okay, so he's number 5 on assists per game. They're saying that he's the front runner.
Yep.
Really?
Yep. And if not him, it was Joel Embiid.
He's got the most fantasy points per game.
He's doing
26,
pretty good.
10, and 8. Okay.
Yeah. He's the front runner this year. He'll be the first person to be a second what is it? Second round draft pick to win it.
But the thing is too, although they say that it's about just the season,
yeah,
you realize that if Golden State's makes a run in this playoffs, though, it's going to be stuff then.
Well, no, the vote's already cast.
No. What? They don't cast the votes yet.
Yeah, it's MVPs for regular season.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if it's not, they don't cast them.
Yes, they do.
No.
No, they have to put it in already.
No.
Yes, they do.
That's not a thing.
Yes, it is.
I'm 98% positive.
Yeah, they have.
That's why people hate the MVP race, because it's for the regular season, but they don't cast it until
Oh, really?
Yes, really late. So a lot of people are swayed by
playoff that's stupid. Well, at least in NFL, that's how it's done.
Yes.
Okay. Well, let me see if that's right. I don't know if that's true. I honestly think that's stupid if that's.
It is stupid, but I'm pretty sure that's a thing. Maybe I'm just making up shit, but that I remember that being a thing. Giannis is the second person in the candidate, huh?
Second or third. But honestly, Giannis is having just as good of a season as he always has. Maybe even statistically better in some cases. But people are just voter fatigue. They're not going to give it to him because of
just as done it
2 years in a row, and the Bucks lost to the Heat last year. So it's just it's a stupid reason, but voters get tired of it.
How do you think that they're going to do in the playoffs this year?
A lot of people are just sleeping in them, I think.
Which I think is better.
And Drew Holiday is such an improvement from Eric Bledsoe that I'm just we have a hard run though.
We got to play
the Heat,
and
then the Nets, and then the Sixers.
Unless the Celtics knock out the Nets.
The Celtics are dog shit this year.
I know.
They are terrible.
But they do always play decent in the playoffs.
They do, yeah.
But always play pretty badly against us.
So, it is it's a tough road, but I really do think that they have a good shot.
The Sixers are number 1 seed, huh?
Yeah.
Really?
That's that Doc Rivers coaching.
Is Embiid still hurt?
No. Everybody's good for playoffs.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, the Brooklyn Nets are like iffy because like all those three guys
Can go down at any point.
Because like most of them have just missed like more than half the season. Kyrie's played the most, and he's like missed like 25 to 30 games.
That's insane.
It's out of a 72 game season.
It was so crazy. Somebody was trying to like.
That's why I'm like if the Bucks get them, like we might win that series just because like they haven't played together.
Yeah.
And like the Bucks have great defense. I think the only team that's like better in defense than them is 76ers.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they do good. I'm going to watch a lot of the playoffs, I'm sure.
So
I think that NBA playoffs, I don't give a fuck what anybody says, is like my favorite.
It's the best. I love it.
It's way better than March Madness.
I like it a lot too.
Yeah.
It's not more exciting.
For sure it is.
No, it isn't.
Dude,
a one-game series is just like inherently exciting.
When LeBron brought him back from the 3-1 deficit.
That's more exciting than any March Madness. I'll give you that. But how often is that happening?
I mean, I don't know. Like the intensity of all 7 games, like every single game, like even though you say like one and done is like crazy, like
that's
all
just
7
like
games mean a lot still. Well, like each game is exciting. And there's more games.
It depends. Think about like the finals last year, right?
Okay.
That was a 6-game series, but it really felt like a 5-game series, you know?
Yeah.
And like it just depends on what series it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not every game matters. There are some series like Ryan Russillo, that guy I listened to, was talking about how OKC versus I think the Heat, right? That was like a 5-game series, but he was like it felt like way closer than that. It felt like a 7-game series.
Yeah.
But like that was one where like every game mattered, and just like a couple things could have went the other way, and then who knows? OKC could have won.
The thing is,
it really just depends what
in
series
the
it is.
East, as being a fan of a team in the East.
Yeah.
Since LeBron's been gone, the East is just always fun to watch.
Because anything can happen, you feel?
Anything can happen always.
Yeah. I mean, the
there's
West
no
is exciting.
favorite.
The West is like kind of up for grabs too right now.
Yeah.
This is who, if LeBron and the Lakers are to win this year, this is what they have to go through. They have to go through Golden State in a play-in game.
Yep.
They then have to face a first-round Suns.
Second round.
No, first round.
Second seed Suns though.
Well, yeah, first round, second seed Suns, and then
the Nuggets.
Then it'd be like the Nuggets, and that's the second round Nuggets.
Yeah.
So then it would be the Nuggets, and then it would be like the Clippers or the Jazz, and then it would be
Utah's that good, huh?
Yeah.
Who's
the defensive player who like shut down the NBA last year because he like sneezed on everybody and he had COVID?
Oh, really?
What's his name?
Rudy Gobert?
Yeah, Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gilbert or something like
Gobert.
that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's just like that nuts.
He's good, yeah.
Defensively or something?
Yeah, and also Utah is like I could be speaking out of turn because I don't really follow Utah at all. I don't really watch them.
Yeah.
I think this is what it is. So
That's
you know how like
Donovan Mitchell, isn't it?
It's I don't remember. The Nuggets have a player who isn't Jokic. Yes, Donovan Mitchell is on that. Jamal Murray is who I was thinking of. Jamal Murray. Utah, like, because I don't watch the West, it's hard to fucking. Yeah, Donovan Mitchell's on that team, I believe.
What was our player that we gave to them? Is he not around? Who is the? I mean, they have Ilyasova. What was the guy that I really liked that we got rid of?
I don't know.
He was shooting guard or whatever.
Shooting guard?
He like had a 50, 40, 90 season and then we got rid of him.
Malcolm Brogdon?
Yeah.
Pacers,
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know how Brooklyn is like, it's like a team that you make on 2K. It's like stupid.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, let's just put all the best offensive players in there and fuck it. Well, Blake Griffin's in it.
Yeah.
It's like what every basketball coach has like would say would never work. It doesn't make sense. They haven't played any games together.
Yeah.
And by the end of the season, if they have a championship, nobody will be surprised, but all the basketball purists will be like pissed.
Yeah.
The flip is for Utah. Utah does like all the things that like basketball coaches like. They're like
Yeah.
a lot of team effort, a lot of good passing.
It's like the Sacramento
Kings versus the what?
No, not Sacramento Kings. Fucking the Spurs.
The Spurs.
Yeah, the fucking
good fundamentals.
Just like I mean, Tim Duncan's on there, and like never like I will never throw that guy in like top 10. Like even if people do think that,
people put him in like top 8.
I mean, I'd say he's a top 3 power forward, but like.
I think people say it is because that he's been so consistently good for so long, has so many championships, and like was the Finals MVP for a lot of them.
But had like the best coach of all time.
That's true, and Kawhi Leonard,
and like always like a supporting cast around him, even though it didn't seem like it. I mean, you had Tony Parker, who was debatably like.
You're gonna start talking to somebody who doesn't know much about the Spurs or that era.
Yeah,
but you can say whatever you want.
It's just like that team. It was proven that team wasn't like a fluke or anything, or that like Tim Duncan was that crazy, because the Mavericks did the same thing right after. They had like a good big guy, and then they surround. It would be like if we threw. Imagine if the Bucks 2 years ago had Jason Terry in his prime, and then like one other really good shooter.
What's his face? Who we had? We had fucking from the Hawks and Cleveland.
Yeah.
Kyle Korver, but in his prime.
So like, if we had both of those people in their prime, that is what the Spurs and Mavericks were. Mm-hmm. Like they had like
and PJ Tucker. Fuck it, throw it on. Yeah. Throw PJ Tucker in it too. In his
Dirk Nowitzki and fucking Tim Duncan.
Wait, Dirk Nowitzki
was on the Mavericks.
Yeah,
they're both very similar teams where they had this one big guy and then surrounded by shooters. Like Jason Terry was on the Mavericks.
Mm-hmm. Jason Kidd was too.
Jason Kidd too. I mean, it's the exact same thing. You go to the Spurs, then it was Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and fucking Tony Parker. Tony Parker was like debatably one of the best like point guards in the league at the time. And then just like Manu Ginobili was fucking like Kyle Korver in his prime. Like it just works, especially since those players all played defense as well.
So, getting back to stuff that I know on basketball, essentially playoffs start tomorrow on Tuesday, and the Wizards are a team that are worth watching as well. Yeah, Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal just going on tears lately. If Steph Curry didn't like explode, Bradley Beal would have won the scoring title this year. Like
he's 31 points. That's crazy.
Also crushing. And the reason why they were 10 seed is because they were just like their team was like ravaged with COVID. They had like a lot of injuries. Like it took a little bit for Russ and like
that's weird.
Bradley Beal to
because isn't Bradley Beal like known like as like the best like like he's known for his defense?
I don't know. I don't know.
Or am I thinking of who's the other guy that just like gets in people's faces?
Drew Holiday?
No.
Well, Drew Holiday is like the defense guy.
No, there's this guy that like would play defense, but he was like so in your face, and like he'd always get like.
The defense guys that I really know lately are like a Ben Simmons, a Rudy Gobert, Drew Holiday. Those are like the big defense guys.
Is Ben Simmons playing really good defense right now?
He's probably going to win Defender of the League. Or,
really?
Yeah.
I fucking hate that guy.
Defensive Player of the Year. Ben Simmons?
Yeah. Hate him so much.
Why?
He's just a fucking asshole.
He's just a piece of shit.
He's a motherfucker. He was dating
Kendall Jenner for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I just like if you go a certain amount of years.
Yeah.
If you go a year starting in the NBA.
Yeah.
And you don't make a 3-pointer.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See, he's also not...
See you later.
People are still like on the opinion of like he's gonna get a 3-point. He's never getting a 3. It's he's like this is what he is.
Yeah, he's in his final form.
He's also like he's had a couple games where he like has like 50 this year.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, something like that without having a 3. Maybe or like high 40s. I might be exaggerating 50, but like
50 is a lot.
50 is a lot, and it was crazy without a 3. No, like it
was weird that he dropped 100 without a 3.
That's fucking what Wilt would do.
I mean, yeah.
It's so
because
stupid.
Literally there wasn't a 3.
I know.
There literally was 0 3.
That shit's so stupid. But also it was a lot of like cherry picking and like shit like just like fuck around basketball.
Well, because people like at that time you could throw up 3 people on defense and you'd be able to guard because you literally could play a 1-2 zone, just have 2 people on the other side of the court because it's not like you have to guard a mid-range or a 3-point back then. Right? Like the first person to ever shoot a 3-point in the league was like, I think Michael Jordan.
I was listening to the Russell Peters and Joe Rogan podcast, and they were showing this video. Like, it's probably the first video of any like fight ever put to film.
Yeah.
Right? And it was just these 2 drunk guys like fighting, right?
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, like, because I think about this in sports all the time. Like, that made me think of it where like their basketball skills dog shit. If KD played in that era, he'd be like the greatest player times 10. You know what I mean? Think of if like a Conor McGregor or somebody like or Mike Tyson went back in time and just like
because
would fucking destroy men. You know what I mean?
Boxing was like the epitome of
Tyson Fury
for a long time.
Yeah,
because the people boxing were just like half the time literally like laborers.
Yeah, that
were like, okay, I need to make a little bit extra cash. Or it'd be a laborer and a mob guy, like, because the mob ran like boxing for a long time.
Sure.
They'd go, hey, go and flop this fight. I'll give you $2,000.
Imagine like our athletes now going back in time. I mean, do you think their faces would just be destroyed?
Like the people back then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like one punch. Because like that happened like in a fight recently. He broke somebody's orbital. I don't forget who was fighting, but broke his orbital bone.
Yeah.
Right? Where his face is just smashed in.
Yes.
I mean, that would be constant. If we took like fighters from today.
Yeah.
Just like on pure, not even like, I mean, obviously they have more power, but like, it's just funny, on technique.
Especially
alone.
For UFC.
Yeah.
You could send back like literally like John Jones.
Yeah.
Send him back 10 years.
I know.
Or 20 years.
20 years is
probably
good enough.
Yeah. You send him back 20 years.
If you go back to 2000, he is destroying everybody.
Well, like the big thing back then was like, so UFC 1 was based on, there was this guy, Ken Shamrock, who was like a huge, he was a wrestler, like in WWE, like, and just was a big shit talker, but started up a bunch of MMA camps and like tried to get mixed martial arts off the ground. And then there was this Royce Gracie guy, which you probably know the Gracie.
Yeah, I know them.
And like the whole thing was like,
was Royce Gracie the first UFC?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it was all about
the Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Showing what it can do.
Yep.
And he did just win.
Right.
And he didn't throw strikes. Like, you know what his strikes were? Like he'd slap people in their ear, disorient them, and then like do Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Like he literally wore a gi.
Yeah.
Like a fucking whole, like, he looked like he was going to Taekwondo. And
I should watch some of those. I'm sure they're pretty goofy.
There was like in UFC 1, like so UFC 1 also, and like the first 5 of them or whatever were tournaments.
So you have to play, like you have to fight back
you
to
would
back.
fight, multiple times in a day.
So you're just like fucked up by the end of it.
There's like some where,
that's actually not even just like a UFC thing.
Yeah.
Going back a while, like, I mean, not that like you or I were fighters.
Yeah.
But like that Joe Rogan guy would talk about like going to a kickboxing tournament and then like going. Yeah. Imagine like being the guy that just got knocked out by Joe Rogan. Well, now I gotta go fucking fight another person after that.
No, you're done if you. It's one and done.
Oh,
there's no like losers bracket.
Okay. I thought you just got knocked out and you fall on the pavement and you're like, all right. So that fucking sucked. I thought it was like maybe like a Swiss, you know.
There were savages, but like not that, because it's even more strict now. But like if you get knocked out, you're not like allowed to. You know what happens if you get knocked out now, right?
You just die.
Yeah, you die. Well, you can't fight for 6 months.
Oh, good.
Like if you,
unless you're a fucking cowboy, because cowboy just keeps fucking fighting.
No, if he gets knocked out, he can't fight for 6 months.
He just keeps getting knocked out every fight.
He doesn't care. He just keeps. But
he really is a journeyman of the UFC.
There was a person who was like known for his toughness, and he got like put into a rear naked choke by like somebody that he was like a heavy favorite to win against, but he was just like, he wasn't going to tap because like he was known for toughness. But then he like in his mind, he even said in the interview, he was like, I know that if I got this fight again, or if I fight, like I can be in championship contention, because it was like January or something, by the end of the year, if I get in like 2 more fights, and I can beat this guy again and just become a champion contender. So he tapped out, and everybody thought that he was like a bitch for that.
Oh, but he did, because he was like, if I get knocked out or choked out, I just will not be able to fight.
Can't for 6 months,
So I just need to like take my L here.
Yes.
So he lost the battle, but he won the war.
Yeah, and then he
ended up becoming the champion.
I forgot who it was, but I'm pretty positive that he was a former champ. But yeah, it wasn't like he went to a loser's bracket. That's why like you see like Israel Adesanya, you know that guy has like 150 fights, right?
Of Taekwondo.
Kickboxing.
Yeah,
because he just go to tournaments and you crank out like 10 fights if you win it. Like, and then that's why you also see them like 113 and like 4.
Yeah.
It's because they just lost 4 tournaments. Yeah. Like they didn't win the championship.
Sure.
Which typically is like
pretty hard to do.
Pretty hard to do because you're just tired.
Yeah, you got to just roll through everybody.
Yeah.
What are we at with time?
51. But yeah, so like it is also funny too because UFC was so crazy when it started. Like they didn't have a lot of rules. Like you could knee people while they're down and just like there's fun. Also still like shit like that, like Bellator and stuff like had different rules.
Or one
like, there was no weight champion. Classes really.
Yeah.
Like you fought to be just the best rather than like, that's why like also BJ Penn, who's like a really well-known fighter, he like fought in 5 different weight divisions when they came out with weight division because he was so used to like, hey, I want to be the best. Yeah, I want to be the best, so I'm going to fight the best. But I watched a lot of like...
It also has to be like super dangerous back then.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like nowadays, it still is a dangerous sport, obviously. Mm-hmm. But...
there's things that protect you now.
Yeah, now there's just like medical staff. Like
there was eye gouging at first.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have people like Herb Dean who's just there to like... really not let shit get out of hand.
Yeah.
That being said, you still gotta hammer fist people after they're knocked out.
Yeah.
That can't be good.
No.
What do you think is a more dangerous sport? And be honest, do you think football or UFC is? I wouldn't be surprised if you said football.
It's probably football.
It probably is, right? Because of the consistency of...
It's so much.
And even though they try to like say they're as safe as possible, a lot of those guys will not come out even when they should.
Yeah.
Where in UFC, where if they're like legitimately hurt, they're done.
It's hard to say because like there is, I mean, it's extremes on both ends, right? Like there's people that come out of the NFL and like have like a 3rd grade rating level afterwards. There's also people like in the UFC currently still fighting.
Yeah.
That are standing over their wife with like a knife.
Yeah.
And like chanting things because they're so fucked up in the head.
Yeah. That happened to who?
Tony Ferguson.
Oh, Tony Ferguson did that?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Recently.
Yeah.
Fought like last weekend too.
What can you do?
He did that like a year ago.
Why did he do that? He just fucked up?
He had so much CT.
He's another journeyman, right?
He's a guy that like just he gets his face broken.
I love that term.
Journeyman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like he's just a union union UFC fighter.
Have you ever seen The Fighter?
Who's in it?
Christian Bale.
Yeah, with Marky Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen it.
You like it?
Yeah, it's good.
It is good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Which kind of epitomizes like what we've been talking about. Yeah. Oh, but what I was saying is there's this guy that does like top 10 videos of UFC, like top 10 like fights.
Best cards,
stuff like that.
Best fights.
There was one where it was like top 10 immediate rule changes.
Oh, that's a good video.
There was like one where a guy got picked up and thrown out of a ring. that got it X'd out right away.
Hey, you got the win today. But you can never do that again.
Yeah. I gotta rewatch the video because there was like some like funny ones where you're like, how is that a thing? Like people would come out like completely covered in like Vaseline, like they had just got dipped in it. That shit would change rules.
Yeah.
Like grabbing onto the fence or grabbing people's face and like grating it against the gate of the octagon.
Yeah.
That was like a thing.
Is there a way to like... It seems like, okay, it's cage fighting, right?
Yes.
That's like, it's cage fighting. Is it because of tradition, or that's just like the most logical thing to fight in?
It makes it so that way you're less likely to like fall out of the ring, because with grappling and stuff, you can fall out of a ring.
That's fair, but like, does it have to be metal cages? Like, could they do
if it's like ropes, you just fall through.
Can they do like composite or so? I just feel like it's so like
there's definitely
it just seems so like
things.
brutal and like arbitrary and like
it's cool though.
That's fine.
It reminds you of like gladiators.
It's honestly it feels of its era. Like because UFC really started coming out in like early 90s, right? Mm-hmm. Early 90s, and like I think it was
more like mid 90s.
Mid 90s to like early 2000s, around that era. Think of X-Men 2000, where like Wolverine's like fighting in a cage, right?
Yeah.
And like he's in that fucking, or even like Spider-Man, he's fighting Bonesaw, he's ready, like he's fighting him in a cage.
Yeah.
It's just like everybody was kind of cage fighting, and they just has translated for 20 years.
Cage fighting was before UFC, I think. Too,
what, in WWE?
No, well, like WWE.
But they did that as like a joke, or like
But no, there was like underground cage fighting. I'm pretty sure it was like a thing.
Well, that's probably what like started.
That's what they
UFC.
based it off of. I think is because like UFC was known for no rules, because it really was like literally eye gouging was like a technique, like in UFC, which is just crazy to think about.
I love watching those. Like as every year as it goes by, we were watching one the other day of like. I mean, everybody has seen like Joe Rogan like arguing how UFC is like clearly like a real sport, and like and the guy he's arguing, he's like, well, you're clearly just not a boxing fan, and he's like, no, I am a boxing fan. It's just like UFC is like the ultimate form of fighting. It's just like it uses every aspect of fighting. Like boxing's such a
outdated thing,
one-dimensional. Anyways, like that guy was like, you will never see UFC on ESPN like with all the blood and like and now it's like the biggest. It's one of the most important properties of ESPN now. Yeah.
It was so crazy how like, and although Joe Rogan is like a polarizing person, but he like in that interview, he's like, you just don't know or like boxing. He goes, I grew up on watching, and named like 4 different fighters. And then later on, like 2 minutes later, the guy goes like, yeah, but you don't know anything about this fighter. He was like, I just named that fighter as somebody that I watched growing up. What do you mean? Like,
and also like it didn't make sense, because you like, why wouldn't he, if he is like an ultimate fighting fan, why wouldn't he want to know about like this, like boxing, which is like a specific, they use that in ultimate.
It's a form that's used in.
So like,
not a very good one.
But like striking. Like boxing's the closest thing that you can get high level to it, at least for years, you know. So I mean, like it's weird to think that that Joe Rogan would be like not knowledgeable on that. You know what I mean?
All of them are, right? Like especially like Dana White. Dana White's like a big like came from like loving boxing.
Right. I also like, it's funny that when things have eyeballs and clearly it is like garnering attention, like a UFC or like a League of Legends, like esports, or honestly any like TikTok, it's just like, it's so, people are always so dismissive of it.
It's so weird,
and it never makes any sense to me. Like clearly people are watching this. It's like, you can make fun of it, but like it's making a fuck ton of money, and it's probably making significantly more money than you ever will make.
It's so weird to me that people like don't like innovation, even though innovation is what keeps the world fresh. Right? Like even like to move away from like League of Legends and music, for example, right? The reason why rock and roll got so stale was it got to a point where like if you weren't making a certain type of rock and roll, you got made fun of and it wasn't accepted. And then you had rap and hip hop come along, where it's so like universally like adaptive, right? Like you're able to, you know, merged these different types of sounds and like all that to the point where for the like up until like 10 years ago or maybe less, like rock was always number one. Mm-hmm. And then rap and hip hop just
I
took
think
over.
5 years ago rap took over as like the number one.
Solely because it's just like, and then rap started doing it. And I was like, that's kind of annoying because like you need these, like the SoundCloud rappers everybody hated. It's like, you need these people.
Yep.
Like they are going to keep.
It's going to change though. Like 10, 20 years, like the new
style
is going to like take over again. Mm-hmm. And it always happens.
You are still going to be listening to folk music.
Yeah, I know. It's what it is.
Yeah. You and I will play our ukuleles. Mm-hmm. That's just what we do.
I think we're done. Did we hit it?
Yeah, we're at 1 hour exactly.
Well, look at that. This one flew by.
This one was a sports podcast, huh?
Hey, sometimes we do sports.
Fuck rec league sports, dude.
We have lasted longer than a sports podcast not doing sports, but we do sports better. That's funny.
Yeah. And yeah. Well, Andy just didn't have it in him.
Andy just wasn't cut out for the sports life.
Nope.
See you later, Andy.
Peace.